Well, look at what we have here. Hello, everyone. We are live from New York City. At least I am. I would love to hear where you are tuning in from because, we are all live here together in this live streaming Behance environment. We're all just having a good time. Happy Thursday. We have some people in the chat. I'm reading your chat as we're live streaming. So I can see that we have Julia, we have Zombie Army 807. Great choice of username. Just it goes all the way. Who's watching from Bangladesh? Thank you for saying where you're watching from. It always just is fascinating to hear where everyone's coming in from. And I think they're starting to get the routine like, hey, let's say hi and say where we're from. So Islam is from Palestine. Yep. Jeff is from Fort Worth. Patricia is from Argentina. Santaji is from Bombay. Oh my gosh. Stone is from Dubois, Iowa? Is that how you say it? Eric is from LA, Belgium. Okay, I'm from Chicago, so if anyone's from Chicago, shout out to Chicago. I studied in San Francisco, so shout out to the Bay Area as well. And then shout out to New York City. That's where I'm streaming from. Just moved here a couple months ago. So my name is Sam Anderson, and I work here at Adobe. And what's fun about my job is that as a designer, I work on a design tool, and we create designs with that design tool and make prototypes of prototypes with the prototyping feature of Adobe XD. So it gets, we're meta here at Adobe. That's the way we roll. And so sometimes I come along onto this show, and I think we have a good time with teaching. I like teaching. Do you guys like teaching? Do you like being taught? I think that's why you're on the stream, right? We dive into design and like how do we use XD. It's Adobe's design and prototyping tool if you aren't familiar. And hopefully I can show you some cool things. I give you the tools that you need to get started. Rosie says that's dream come true. It is a dream job. I love my team. It's great. I love them. Nikoma is saying hello from NYC. So Atlanta, Georgia. Everyone's here. I wish I could say everyone's name, because then, but there's so many people, We're going to have a blast today. If you want to design for physical wellness, say so in the chat, because that's what we're doing today. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun. So that's what today's all about, physical wellness. And if you aren't familiar with the previous days of this challenge, no worries. You can hop in right where you are here. But where we're going to get started is behance.net/challenge/XD. One of our moderators will put that link in our Behance chat. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you come over to Behance and have the chat over here on Behance, because that's what I'm reading. And that will have all the necessary information for you. So you click the blue button, and you can see all the challenges for this week. We're nearing the end of the week. So today, we're thinking about accessibility. We're thinking about physical wellness. It's going to be a blast. So dive in with the starter file if you click that gray button. And then this button down here, chat with the community, will take you to, you guys know it, Discord. Discord is our group chat for everyone. James is from Oakland. Hey, I spent a year there when I was in the Bay Area. Nice. Peter's from Vietnam. Everyone's still saying where they're from. I love it. I could ride that wave this whole half hour. But unfortunately, we can't. And so Discord is fun because not only are we sharing designs with each other and getting feedback from everyone. Look at this. But we're also like just being humans, and people are chatting about design in general. Look at all this. And introducing themselves, and we're sharing tips and tricks in XD. But this one, current dash challenge, that's the channel you want to pay attention to if you want to share your work for this challenge. And look, we have people giving feedback. Look at all this great feedback. Thank you, Akin GN, for giving, spending time to actually deep dive into the feedback. It's that type of feedback that's going to help us become better designers. We need that. it's the feedback. So don't shy away. Critique is what brings us to the next level. Thanks everyone for sharing your work. Over there, I wanted to call out one in particular. Let's look at this one. This one's from Jonathan, showing what words Jonathan chose, as well as the ideas, and that one sentence. That one sentence is key with the prototype and the designs here, just knocking it out of the park on all aspects. Of course, if you do submit your design into the Discord before about like 90 minutes from the end of my live stream on Adobe Live, which is with Mustafa and Julian, two of my favorite people. I went to school with both of them, which is right after me. They'll look over your work and give you some feedback, and they're just going to do rad stuff today, just like they did yesterday, I'm sure. Look at this. We're in XD. We're in XD. Here we are. Physical wellness. We all start with the how might we statement. This is going to be key to define your design. And of course, I'm showing you my how might we statement, but you can design with however you want to form your how might we statement. And I'm giving you words that you can choose from. Feel free to stray away from those. If you want to make your own words, go for it. Yeah. Oh, Kuko, hello from Kansas. Hello. Great to see you. Daniel's from Ecuador. Wow, still people tuning in. So this starter file is going to be key for you to dictate your design. I'm choosing in the theme of physical wellness and accessibility. How might we elevate solo daily activity for city dwellers? Of course, there's all these other words that you could possibly choose, but this one is a really fun prompt. Remember, for each day, there are 256 possible challenges because there's 4 for each column. That's 256 possible combinations of challenge. So we can all be working on something fun and different and having a good time at it. So I took a stab at what that could mean. What does it mean to elevate solo daily activity for city dwellers? I'm a city dweller, and I'm certainly interested in daily activity. I don't necessarily go and work out, so daily activity and exploring is certainly how I get any like exercise in. So this fits like me, and I can like design for me in this instance. I encourage you to choose something that you can design for yourself as well, because then you don't have to it might be easier for you in terms of like what your needs are. You can just design for you in a way, right? So here's one idea. Daily Spin, an app that aggregates your podcasts, news, and emails for your morning commute. I've been thinking about audio a lot recently. It's one of my focuses at Adobe. I'm thinking about voice design, and that's what I work on with XD. So I've been thinking about like, I listen to a podcast on my commute every morning, like, but maybe I also want to hear the news. Maybe I also want to check my mail. Like, what if I could have a curated morning commute audio, like playlist or something that an app would put together for me, where I just put my headphones in and I don't have to think about checking any of those things until I get to work. That's the idea there. It stemmed from this question. Those questions are really helpful in stimulating ideas. Here's one. It's called the Walking Meeting, and it helps you and your colleagues plan outdoors walking meetings. So that's fun because oftentimes if you're working in a day-to-day job, you're just at your desk most of the day. And so what if, if you're just having a small chat with someone, which is, oftentimes what happens, maybe you can just go around the block, and maybe there's an easy way to get outdoors. And then here's the one that I like the most. It's Discover Weekly Maps Edition. So if you're familiar with Spotify's Discover Weekly, I've been listening to mine all through this week. They give you new pieces of music every week that they think you might like. But what if we could do the same but for your neighborhood? Where on a map we would see all these suggested places for you to go this week. To get you exploring, to get out there, and hopefully they're all places like within walking distance, or to get you out and be active, because remember, we are talking about physical wellness, right? So that's the one that I'm really intrigued by. I also encourage all of you that when you are making these ideas, get visual, put emojis in there. I'm not doing that this week, But you can look at my previous challenges. I do show you how to get visual with emojis just to describe your idea, because that helps you if you're showing your idea to other people so that they can understand what it is. So I'm going to say, I'm going to fill out this one sentence, and this one sentence is going to dictate what I'm doing. So it's going to be Discover Weekly Maps Edition. It's kind of a long name. Can anyone think of a better name for this app? Is an app for let's say Maps app that, and this is where you put what it does, that shows you nearby places to explore for, and remember I chose up here city dwellers, so we'll just put that in this one right here, for city dwellers. Fun. And I'll make this bold just to be consistent with how I've done it in the past. This typeface is Aileron. It's a good one. I chose this one because it's one of the Adobe fonts free fonts, so you don't actually have to have an Adobe subscription to use this font, whereas some of the other ones you do, because the Adobe fonts range is quite extensive, but some of them are a little limited for who can use them. So you have to be like a paying customer or something. Rosie says, can it be called Let's Go? Oh, I like that. Athena said DW Maps, Map Week. Ooh, I kind of like Map Week. I'm kind of with Robin on this one. Yeah. Map Week is good. I mean, the other ideas are great too. Thank you for them. But this one is solid. I'm going to go with, thanks, Robin. I appreciate that. Okay. I started designing a little bit. And here we have just like a start screen, and then we're going to dive into the map, which is, my text is big. Remember, we're also thinking about accessibility today. So big text is very accessible. But, we want to stay readable. Anything smaller than like 14 type, like I never just go that small because it's just hard to read for a lot of people. So the idea here is your Discover Weekly is ready, and you do start discovering, and the map shows up. And so that's all I have so far, not much. And we're going to add like our pins and things on top of this. So it's going to be fun. So I think we're going to have a scrolling list. Oh, also, like you might be wondering, where did I get this map? And if any of you have seen my streams before, I love maps, and I love any opportunity to design with maps. Tim says the font doesn't matter if you're using emojis. Yes. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, so this is what I use to get my maps. It's called Mapbox, and they have this feature. They have this product called Studio, which is like a design tool, but just for maps. And you can customize the colors, and you can take the labels off if you want. That's what I did. It just looks a little cleaner. You can change, like if we want the parks here, maybe we want the parks to be like red for some reason. Like we can do that. Look, the map it's changed. That's kind of crazy. So if you really wanted to, you can change the map to your heart's content. And I just took a screenshot of that, put that into XD. This is New York, by the way. And that's what we're working with here. So it's just an image. There we go. Okay, so you can also use like Google Maps, but then you can't really customize that as much. So you have a little less flexibility. So let's add some pins to the map, and I'll show you what we're going to do in terms of like a scrolling list with that map in the background. And so let's do a pin. To do a pin, we start with a circle to do like a location pin. And of course, these pins are usually red, right? Maybe like a slightly lighter red like that. No border, at least not for now. And so we start with a circle, double click into it, and take this bottom point and just move it down a little bit, like that. And now we're getting closer to that pin shape that we know and love. We're gonna take these handles, hold down Shift, and then you can adjust each side of that shape equally. And then let's make it just a tad sharper, like that. And there we have the pin. There's actually one more step. Can you identify it? Let's add the circle in the middle, right? Boom. The white circle. You can make it white, or you can get fancy and subtract that. If you select the white and then the pin, you can subtract it, and now it's hollow. The inside is hollow. So maybe we'll do that. Actually, let's make it just a tad smaller, maybe. That's kind of cool. Yeah, why not? Why not? Yeah, that's cool. Maybe we should make it white. I don't know. I can't make up my mind. And so there we have the pin. And so now we're going to recommend a bunch of spots near someone, and maybe we can show the person's location. A person's location is always in the center of the screen. At least that's usually what apps do. And it's usually a blue dot. So we'll do a blue dot. Usually has like a lighter blue border. So we'll do that and do like a lighter blue on the outside. Does that look familiar? Yeah? Maybe like not so big, right? Yeah, that's how you usually indicate someone's location. And it's almost always in the center of the screen. So let's center it up right there. And then we'll have the pins all around this person, right? If we made this a component, I recommend that if you do this, if you're duplicating any sort of object, make it a component. Let's do that. Command K. And then if later we decide, okay, so we have these, and then later we decide, actually, no, I don't like the circle. Boom, it's gone. Or maybe we still want the circle, but we want it to not be subtracted from the shape. So we could just do that, right? Because I actually changed my mind. Let's do white. Okay. And we can do all these recommended locations that are nearby. Maybe not everything is nearby. Maybe it's like places that would be beautiful to walk to, like the water. Because we're encouraging physical activity, right? You can go see the Intrepid, which is this huge battleship over here. So maybe like that's a destination and they're somewhere along the way. And we can show those locations like that. So maybe they're not all completely super close, right? Awesome. Oh, how fun. Okay. And then we're going to have a list that is appearing on top of all this. So we're going to, actually, let's copy this shape from over here, which has this blur behind it. I always like using a little bit of a blur when we're working with maps. I don't know why. Only maps. Okay. And let's actually make our artboard a little longer because we're going to have a list. Okay. So we'll say like lovely places to go on a stroll to. Because maybe it knows that walking is like my go-to like form of activity, right? Okay. So that's fun. Okay, we're gonna move all this just up a tad. I think. No, we'll leave it like that. We'll leave it like that. No, actually, look, I'm so capricious. I can't make up my mind. Okay, we're gonna move it up just a little bit, and then on the other one, we'll move it up too, like that, just so it matches when it auto animates, and we'll have this list here. We're going to have a list of places. We'll start with our first one, and we'll say like, I don't actually know where these places are, but we'll say like maybe the New York Public Library is a fun place to check out. And because we're going to do a list, let's go smaller than the title, but still keeping our type nice and readable for accessibility. And since we're doing smaller type, let's go away from light and let's do regular, right? So keeping too light of a typeface, too thin of a typeface will not be readable, and you don't want that. So New York Public Library, and maybe you show where on the map that is. Actually, maybe like you kind of have a little snapshot of it like this. Oh, I like that. Yep. And then what's key about this to get people out and about is that we're saying like 5-minute walk away, right? Let's make that all lined up there. Perfect. And in this rectangle, I would put the map itself. So maybe the library we make actually bold, right? And then the map, how far it is actually kind of supplementary info. So we can do that. Group that all together. We can make a repeat grid out of it because we're having a list. And then the last thing I want to show you, we can show all of our locations, is that all these things are going to scroll, but all of these things, let's group them all together. They're not going to scroll. So let's go to prototype and do fix position when scrolling. And that way, when we scroll, the map stays in place. If I didn't select that, let's look at what that would look like. Oh, no, that's map box. Let's go back to XD. If I didn't do that, back in prototype, I'll select this. If I uncheck that, then what you'll notice is that the map kind of moves with the scrolling, but it's way cooler of an effect. And this is actually how Google Maps and other mapping tools actually make their design. So that's a fun aspect to it. I'm actually going to copy that over to that first artboard so we can auto animate nice and smoothly. And I'm going to reduce the opacity so it kind of fades in. And I would also pull in images for each of these. So we could also look at the Brooklyn Bridge, which is maybe on the water, which is a little bit further away. So let's do like, maybe that's like a 24-minute walk away. And we can have pictures of the outside, or we can have little nap snippets. Nap? Did I say nap snippets? Map snippets. I can't talk. We should also maybe put the address in there too. So, okay. Boom. Oh, look at that. Oh my God. And we could also add a feature where if you tap on one of these, it gives you the information on here. Let's maybe find a quick image of like NYC library, and let's pull that in just to bring our design to the next level. Oh, look at that. Wow. Okay. Let's copy the image and we'll just paste it right into XD here. That's kind of fun. I'll mask it by selecting both of the shapes. I'll go in here, paste it, mask it by selecting both of the shapes. I'm doing Command-Shift-M. If I can get there, hold on. Let's undo. Okay. Paste. Select both. Command-Shift-M. Okay, I'm doing something wrong here. I don't know what I'm doing. It can be a little complicated sometimes dealing with images. Oh, it's because I was doing the wrong. Oh, there we go. That, there, boom. I was selecting the wrong one because it's in a repeat grid, so it repeats. And look at that. Who wouldn't want to walk there if they have that lovely image to look at? So, I mean, you could really have a compelling design here to encourage people to get out and walk. Of course, your ideas and how you show your process is going to be way more important than the design itself. But you can share your designs with us in Discord, and we'll have a blast just giving you feedback. Just take it, you know, in a positive way, because we're just there to give you feedback that will help you become better. And when you upload it to Behance, once you're fully done sharing, upload it to Behance, and you can give it a title. And then under discoverability settings here, do XD Daily Challenge as the tag. And that is going to be key, because then when you upload it, you can see it along with everyone else's as part of doing the daily creative challenge, which is really fun because we can all showcase our work in like the most pristine way as possible, all on Behance, and we'll just have a great time doing it. So of course, don't be scared, don't be shy to share your work. We're gonna help. We're gonna bring each other up. Give people feedback. It's what all makes us better. Okay, that's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow, twice I think actually. But until then, stay tuned for Adobe Live right after this. If you submit your designs in time, they'll go over it on the stream, so throw them into Discord for that. With that, I'll be back tomorrow. Have a great time watching the rest of the streams today, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.